Welcome to The Buzz here at Buzzworthy Radio. I'm your host, Nabel J. Lee, and we are continuing our South by Southwest coverage with our interview with the cast and crew of Stages. This finds the character of Ben Garza trying to find his way as a solo artist. He recently broke up with his band, and now he's trying to stay relevant against his opening act that steals the spotlight, and also juggling life on the road as well as his family. I was very honored to speak with Ryan Booth, Leslie Grace, and David Ramirez about this film because it did resonate with me a little bit, especially as an independent podcaster. When you're trying to find success without that support, it does prove difficult. But I love the strength behind it because you're going to get up and say, I'm going to do this to the end point. I did this without you. It's an amazing film, as well as the fact, congratulations are in order because Stages won the Best of Texas Award in the South by Southwest competition. Let's take a look at our conversation. So let's talk about this movie because there were parts in it, and not just parts of this movie, but there were themes in here that resonated with me so much, especially as being an independent podcaster myself, and getting to watch a story of somebody who is basically trying to figure himself out on where he needs to be in this business, because in the entertainment business itself, no matter if it's music or not, it's very cutthroat. So getting to watch that and getting it from a perspective, Ryan, you even said this in your statement, which I was reading about it, where you're coming from a place in this movie. I want to start with you first. You're seeing a lot of, if we could call it documentaries even, where you're already seeing the fame already with this. You're already seeing that this music artist is already established. They already have the fame. They already have everything built in. But yet we have with Stages, it takes a different avenue where you're actually seeing, in essence, the reality of what's it like to basically come up. So I really appreciated that sentiment that was done with this film.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's definitely a huge reason for making it, because a lot of times, in a music documentary or it's even a music film, the outcome is presented like they're going to get to the top. So then you're just watching an inevitability take place. The tracks are already down, the train's moving down the tracks. And I think in this film, and not just this film, but in my own life and the life of all of my friends who are kind of, artists and creators of making things, we do not know what's coming around the next bend. And the fact that you have to kind of continually put one foot in front of the other without any assurance of that going a certain way, of you achieving a certain thing, I think is for me the kind of the point of this film is that's what I resonate with, is the not knowing and then the still moving forward anyway. And I think that is honestly, the vast majority of people, rather than this kind of like, all right, great, a very tiny fraction of people are going to achieve unbelievable success and unbelievable outcomes. And that's great. But for me, the music I resonate with and the artists that I resonate with, we're all still walking that path, uncertain of what's coming next.
That's a nice segue into my questions for David, because first of all, let me just say your voice is fucking phenomenal. It's fucking phenomenal. And that last song, and I really don't want to give this away, but by the time everyone sees this, you'll see this part that I'm talking about. But it's when you walk into that bar and the setting is Phoenix, Arizona, and you're singing that song, and we're seeing everything how it transpired up until this point where you're singing that song. And the thing that really hit me was when you ended it and that tear was right on your face. That tear was right on your face. You're looking at that crowd and there was no sign of anything. It was just complete and utter silence. That hurt the most, and I really feel like that was to that point. It just hit me where I was just when there was a line earlier in the movie saying like this kind of arena is like a balloon that you
Mhm.
inflate but that you can't tie
Mhm.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of where it kind of sit with me. I was going like, that's where this line fits in because, as you just said, Ryan, it's the
Yeah.
unknown.
Yeah.
That was a very tough scene, but it was also very realistic. What was that like for you?
Mhm. Mhm.
That was a fun day.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It really was a fun
Yeah.
day. I mean, I think before anything really got going as far as filming, you know, we sat down and made plans to write
Yeah.
a song that would
Mhm.
beautifully bookend the story. And so for the longest time, I was just waiting and waiting and waiting for that moment to film that scene. And um, yeah, so uh, it was fun. I mean, it was, but I think we laugh when I say it's fun because it was such a heavy moment, but those are the most fun things in life for me all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to feel that way constantly. But
Mhm.
I mean, how many times did we shoot it? Three, four?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only shot it a few times. It was kind of at the end of a production day. We spent
Mhm.
most of the day shooting a scene that got cut, and
Okay.
then had just a few takes basically to do that final song,
Crazy.
which is wild. But and I'll brag on David, and Leslie. Like all the vocals in the film are tracked live. All the music's tracked live. So that's literally like the sound from that moment, as it kind of existed, in that space. And one of the things that David and I have worked together for, over 10 years now, doing performances. And it was a really emotional moment for me because I knew it was the kind of finale beat. We didn't have a lot of time. And I came to him, and I said, I put the camera on my shoulder for that one because
Mhm.
I knew like we wouldn't have very many times, and I know David well enough to know when to kind of move. I originally was going to walk all over the space and end up in a close up, and I came to him and just said, "Man, with all the love in your heart, like give it, like this is the moment, right?"
You
Yeah.
were crying when you
I
said
was
that to him.
crying when I said it to
Mm.
him. And we started the take, and I very quickly realized I only wanted to be 6 inches from him
Yeah.
while he was singing, and it stays in that close up.
Yep.
We did a couple of takes, and that I know that was one of the later ones because David, when he would leave and walk outside, I'll tell you this, I'm looking at him, he would go outside and cry to release the emotion because he's
Yeah.
holding the emotion inside during that performance. He would walk outside and cry, and then we'd come in and do another take. And that tear,
Gosh.
that moment was it. He didn't make it outside before it started to come out, basically. And that's the moment I was like, "We got it.
Gotcha.
We got
That's
it.
it.
Got him.
We
That's
got
how that works. The
got it."
magic of movie making and even TV making. I love it. I love stories like that. It's
Yeah.
just so poignant. And Leslie, and I'm gonna have probably say this song wrong, so please correct me. Please correct me. Is it
Yeah.
Bachatika that you released?
Bachatica, yes.
That you released? Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about that song. I need to know. I need to know something about this. Let
Oh
me
my
know.
gosh. Well, Bachatica is a record I released a little bit before us shooting this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the genre of bachata. I'm a Dominican American, so it's a how do you say this? Un género típico, homegrown genre
Okay.
of our country. And yeah, I had a good time.
¿Cómo se dice traditional?
Traditional, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
This is why we have David here. It's like I
That's
got the words
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a great time making that record. But there's something I want to go back to of looping back to this scene and what you said and what Ryan said.
Yeah.
I had no idea that until literally a couple minutes ago, where you were telling me the backstory to what that day was like, that you only shot
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
like twice or three times.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yo, this fucking guy, man, like gets the dent here, like, and
What is this reference?
Glory.
Oh, glory. Oh, yeah.
One's here.
I'm drunk right now.
it's so good.
I mean, you are in Austin. I'm not going to fault you for
true.
that at this point in time
You
right
know?
now.
Yeah.
No,
It's only right.
it is only right.
But what I was gonna say is it is so heartbreaking, like you said. But watching that as an artist myself, I think it's bittersweet again because it is heartbreaking to see the space that he's in right at the end and everything that leads up to that. But it's also like uh, it's in a little sense it's satisfying to know that Ben has gotten to the place. You can feel that he's in that moment gotten to the place where he's said, I will sing this song even if no one is there to hear it. That is the moment that we see him arrive at that. And I think that's such an important moment as in a decision that one has to make that is very personal, and we don't really get to see that in films. You don't really get to see that in life. Those stories are they're intimate moments. They're not, things that you can post on an Instagram post. They're those moments you don't get to share them, and to be able to see that in a film and be that close to Ben's face, and feel it with him. Is a beautiful experience.
I know we're running short on time, but I do want to comment on this and get one more question in because I just want to piggyback off of what you said, Leslie, because that's so true that we really don't see that anywhere in life, let alone in any type of feature, and to actually see that visually. You understood where Ben's mind was at that point, getting into this point. And I love what you said about how he was going to do this regardless if he was going to get that validation or not. Because a lot of people in this industry, whether it is entertainment, whether it is in music, whatever it is, even in regular jobs outside of this, you're getting that strength to get to sit there and say, I'm going to do this after so many years or so many months or so many days of sitting there saying to yourself, I don't have the courage to do this. I don't have the balls to do this. And then you finally have something to where you get to say, I'm going to do this. And I get to say, I did this. No matter if anybody supported it or not, I can now sit here and say, I did this. And now I get to live with the outcome of it. So I appreciate you saying that, because that's actually something I actually had a conversation with actually a couple of days ago. I did an interview a couple of days ago, and we literally said this exact same thing. So I love the fact that you brought this up here. So I really appreciated you saying that statement. My final question for you guys, as I know we're wrapping up, is that having this premiere at South by Southwest here in Austin, Texas, and I understand you guys call this a love letter to Austin or to Texas itself. What is that feeling like for all of you to have this being here in such an arena where it's one of the most popular events that you could ever go to in the country? So having this premiere at this time, what's going through your minds right now? I'll take whoever wants to go first.
I'll start. I'll try and be concise because there's a lot. I've worked this festival before I directed, I was a DP. I've worked this festival for many years. The first film I ever shot premiered here, and I have back with the project. So to have my first film be able to premiere here in Austin, we shot over half the movie here. We prepped here. And I think, we shot in all of these venues. Many of the music venues in the film are venues that are currently filled, with South by showcases. And so it feels very kind of fitting and like a great start to this next journey of beginning the process of releasing this film. It felt like such a great gift to be able to start that process here. because it's a city and a place that's meant a lot to all of us. And this festival in particular, and their kind of appreciation and love of music, I think dovetails really well with what we're trying to explore with this film.
Hell yeah.
Let the Texas boys take it.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, I only know South by from the other side, just playing music. And
Yeah.
it's been a long time since I've played South by officially. I try to get out of town during this time. I don't know it from this side at all, and so to come back to this festival and see it from a film side, with so much love for music. I mean, I partied last night because I was just the happiest little kid on the planet, and just texting my parents and pictures of us and you and just nerding out over what we accomplished. No matter what the outcome is, it was just we made something together, and we did it in my town.
No, that's
I love it.
beautiful. One quick follow-up to that is in the credit sequence, I don't know if the version of the film you saw had credits or not.
It did.
There's a little black and white video of David playing a song at the very end of the credits.
Yes.
That was recorded during South by in 2022. I came to town to talk with David about the movie, and he was like, "Hey, I gotta go to this little South by show. Do you want to roll with me?" And I had just my little Blackmagic pocket camera, and he played that song, Put in the Work, and that's me just standing in the crowd, zooming in and out, not moving, and it's on the stage, exact space that he then did the final song. That's what got the kind of final moment of the film.
Oh, wow.
And so that felt to me like a really great button and a little nice Easter egg for South by, and how important literally these little stages were to the kind of substance of the film. So
I love it. What you got, Leslie? What you got?
In a way, that was the seed of what the film became. I remember in our early talks of you walked me through what you saw the film being before we started shooting. You mentioning that moment and us watching it.
Yeah.
And you just get it. You get the whole film, that one moment.
Yeah.
So it's so sick that it's come full circle back to South by Southwest. I just feel like it feels right, man. All of the worlds that we love are converging. We all have our history with music and our present with music. And hopefully our future.
That's right. Yeah, Leslie just announced a new record.
I announced my new album's coming out in May yesterday as well. So to have watched the film for the first time at South by Southwest on the same day that I made that announcement is pretty wild. And for me personally, stages came into my life at a time where I didn't feel I had that courage that you're talking about to even sing just for myself. And I had mentioned that to Ryan a couple days ago. And so 2 years later to now be here and to see how all of our journeys have met back up in this place and see how the journey of shooting the film has affected all of us and lent us that courage to keep moving forward in our own respective paths is beautiful. It's a celebration, man.
I agree. And hopefully those that have badges and are attending South by right now, I hope everybody gets to watch this at the screenings. It's going to resonate with a lot of people. And if you're not just music lovers like myself, because I love my music, I really do. It gets me through the day. But even those that are not musically inclined, they're going to take away something from this movie. So I really hope people go and watch it. They're going to enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was very happy that I got to talk to all three of you today. It was an absolute pleasure to do this.
Wonderful. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for tuning in into the latest episode. For entertainment news, past interviews, and official merch, visit our website at buzzworthyradiocast.com. Until next time.